Hello, my name is Patty Ron. This is the personal finance video for the workbook Aging in Place, Your Home, Your Community, Your Choice. Financial stability is important throughout our lives. Retirement can challenge our financial health, impacting our ability to age in place. The first step is to develop a clear picture of your post-retirement finances. This picture looks different for each person because of their individual circumstances. Don't be afraid to get advice from a financial expert who can help answer important questions. Even if your income and resources may not warrant using a financial planner, the workbook contains checklists that you can use to help think about managing your assets. It also has web links to information that may help you make financial decisions. Next, financial experts at Olio Financial Planning share their experience working with folks in developing a plan to age in place.
So most people approaching retirement obviously want to know how much they need and how to calculate what is needed. And in retirement, a lot of times you have income coming from a lot of different places. So it's no longer coming from an employer. It could come from investment assets or accounts like an IRA, a 401k. It could also come from a pension if you work at a company that provides pension benefits. It could come from Social Security. That's generally the most common. And so each of those sources play a key role into what it is that you actually need. So when individuals ask me, should they be debt-free in retirement? It's a very common question and one that there's no clear answer, but I would say debt is not always a problem. In this current environment, if let's say after watching this video, you feel, okay, I want to go and evaluate my debt. If you're paying 12, 13, 14, 15% on a credit card, yes, that should be debt that should be paid off soon before or after retirement. If you have a mortgage and that interest rate is, say, 3-4%, that is not debt that we would feel needs to be paid off. So to estimate potential income taxes in advance of retirement is something that should certainly be considered. One hazard that we do see are individuals will assume that their working life taxes are the same as their retirement life. And so if you were in a 33% tax bracket, you would just use that same rate. We would suggest using websites where you can input the types of income that you would have, and it will spit out this is what your tax liability or amount would actually be, and really consider not just retirement as a whole, but if you're receiving income in different periods. So if you retire at 65, you're receiving a pension. And then at age 70, you're receiving Social Security. So be mindful of that first 5 years. Your taxes will be less than what they may be beyond that. A lot of times a budget will really come down to the resources that you have. If you have $25,000, you obviously have to work within that. If you have $50,000, then again, that generally drives most people's budget. The thing that we would suggest is to always consider any expense that may be included in your pay stub, or if you have a mortgage, in that mortgage there's likely an escrow account where the mortgage company is taking your insurance premiums and your real estate taxes and they're paying those expenses for you. Well, if you assume that the mortgage is paid off and those expenses no longer continue, this would then understate what you would need over the life of retirement. So to prepare for an unexpected expense in retirement, it's really important to not ignore what could go wrong, whether it's a car repair, it's a new roof, and generally we think that it's a good idea to consider $2,000 to $3,000 per year as part of your budget for these types of things. It may not happen every year, but generally they do. Our suggestion when it comes to getting advice to help you with your retirement plans is to go to the CFP Board's website or the Financial Planning Association's website and seek out a certified financial planner, fee-only fiduciary, someone who puts your interests first, that isn't paid by a product or a transaction, and can really narrow in on what it is that you need your retirement to look like. We feel there are several important documents that should be in place, and those are a last will and testament, commonly referred to as a will. This document is used to transfer property or accounts to your beneficiaries. The second is a power of attorney. We sometimes refer to this as a sign my name document. It allows someone to make decisions on your behalf. Typically, those decisions are financial in nature. When it comes to healthcare decisions, we look at an advanced medical directive, a living will, or a healthcare power of attorney. These are often confused, but each has a slightly different variation depending upon your needs. And that is primarily driving healthcare decisions that someone else would make on your behalf. The last document is a trust. This is probably less common, but in an age where privacy is very important, we feel that this is a document that can protect that. And so if properly used, this can be a very efficient tool. The failure to not express your wishes or develop a plan can be devastating to your family. Have a conversation, whether it's with family members, it's with professionals. Consider, your loved ones and what your wishes are, and make sure those are mapped out and explained to those who would be making decisions on your behalf.
What useful recommendations for financial planning. You may find that including family members in completion of the workbook can generate additional ideas for future planning. Getting a handle on personal finances is vital to the enjoyment of our retirement years. Thank you for joining us. Please be sure to check out the other videos in the workbook.